ये सभा के लिए किसी प्रकार के लिए उचित नहीं है। सदन के नेता ने उपस्थित न रहकर मेरे आग्रह को मानकर सदन को अप्रिय दृश्य से बचाया। मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को इसके लिए आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि उन्होंने मेरे सुझाव को माना। आप पोस्टर पंपलेट लेकर आएंगे तो सदन नहीं चलेगा, आज भी नहीं चलेगा, कल भी नहीं चलेगा। सदन की परंपराओं, गरिमा, सभागृह की गरिमा परंपरा को रखो। कल की घटना देश ने देखी है, किस तरीके से महिला सदस्य वहां तक पहुंची है। ये कोई उचित नहीं था और ये सदन की गरिमा के अनुकूल भी नहीं था। आप सभागृह की गरिमा को गिराना चाहते हैं। आप अपनी तरफ रहें, उनकी तरफ रहें। भाषण शब्दों से आप आरोप प्रत्यारोप लगा सकते हैं, शब्दों से कोई भी बात भी कह सकते हैं, लेकिन आप इधर आसन में आकर जिस तरीके की घटना कर रहे हैं ये उचित नहीं है। सदन की कार्रवाई कल शुक्रवार दिनांक 6 फरवरी 2026 को प्राप्त 11 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
And with that, the proceedings of the Lok Sabha is adjourned once again amid disruptions, noise and din, where the opposition party has been raising slogans and holding the proceedings of the House to ransom. They are demanding that Rahul Gandhi, leader of the opposition, should be allowed to make a statement. Remember, when he was given a chance, he started off by speaking about General Naravane's book that wasn't really published, and he did not have much to say when he maintained that it was being quoted from an article from a magazine. Remember, the Prime Minister too was set to make a statement in the Lok Sabha, and even that wasn't allowed amid noise and ruckus and the constant disruption of the ongoing proceedings of the Lok Sabha. So far, the budget session has been an absolute washout as far as the MPs being given a chance to carry out their statements, in a sense, for the to speak on vote of thanks to the President's address on the budget session. That hasn't really happened in the last few days. The opposition party leaders, several from the Congress party MPs, have also been suspended for their unruly behavior where they have not followed the decorum of the House. Time and again, the Speaker had maintained that the proceedings of the House cannot be held to ransom in the manner in which the opposition has been doing so far, with constant disruptions, ruckus and protests. They have been maintaining that leader of the opposition, Rahul Gandhi, is not being allowed to make a statement, and this in the parliamentary history is for the first time that the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha has not been allowed to speak on the vote of thanks to the President's address during the budget session. But the fact remains that whether it is General Naravane's book, or for that matter, where Rahul Gandhi has spoken about how India-US trade deal was struck amid duress, these are the issues that the opposition party wants to raise in the House, and there is no consensus as far as business of the House is concerned. My colleague Brijesh Pandey is joining me right now to get us more details. So, Brijesh, another day, another washout. We have once again witnessed how disruptions and constant adjournment of the House has led to practically no legislative business taking place. What are we expecting in the days ahead?
Well, I think, more than that, what has happened in the House is something which is deeply disturbing. What we have been given to understand by our sources at around noon, that that there was a ploy by the opposition MPs to attack the Prime Minister, and they were using the shield of women MPs to do that, and it was visible in the pictures which we are showing right now on our screen that that the women MPs gherawed the Prime Minister chair. And then the Speaker made a sensational revelation just a couple of minutes back when he said that it was he who requested the Prime Minister to not come to the office, and the atmosphere is not conducive, and it is and he was very glad that the Prime Minister acceded to his request. And he also slammed down the opposition members for the kind of the violation of the decorum of the lower house. So this is the one big news which is coming out, that the Speaker has slammed the opposition. The Speaker confirms what we had flashed a couple of hours before, that there could have been a physical, assault on the Prime Minister. And the Speaker said that it was he who requested the Prime Minister yesterday to not come to the House and address the House, and it was glad that the Speaker listened to him.
But Brijesh, this is not the first time around that we are looking at protests being held by opposition parties. This is not the first time around that we are looking at Lok Sabha proceedings coming to an absolute standstill and it being a washout. But this time around, it is a different strategy that the opposition party led by the Congress party is trying to deploy. They are using women MPs. They are holding these massive banners and placards. They are holding protests outside the parliament, inside the parliament, not allowing the Prime Minister to speak. They are blocking ministers like Ravneet Singh Bittu when this entire altercation took place between Rahul Gandhi and Ravneet Singh Bittu. In the meanwhile, Mallikarjun Kharge has raised this matter in the Rajya Sabha. Do you feel there is a need for both the government, the treasury benches and the opposition to come on the talking table to figure out how to let the functioning of the House take place?
Well, I think, there's a dire need, because if you look at the observations made by the Speaker of the lower house, the Om Birla made it very, very clear that the dignity of the House has been shredded. And he went on to say that, that the Congress MPs could have done something unworldly. See, the fact of the matter is that after a very long time, we are witnessing an unprecedented unity in the opposition camp. Usually, whenever the Congress party, has a point of view on a particular subject, Trinamool Congress it does not share the same point of view. Trinamool Congress doesn't join that particular meeting which has been called by the opposition, by the Congress party. But this time, there's an almost near unison between Trinamool Congress, Samajwadi Party, Congress Party and others. And if you look at the numbers, it tantamounts to somewhere in the range of 140, 150 member of parliament. So that's a huge set of numbers. And this time they have been pretty aggressive. They have been quick to rush to the well of the House. And in fact, if you remember, day before yesterday, we saw a couple of Trinamool Congress MPs standing before the Prime Minister and, shouting slogans at Amit Shah and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So their approach has been very, very aggressive and very, very physical as far as this particular session is concerned.
Are we to understand that the government is on a back foot when it comes to the robust protests by the opposition party leaders? Like you mentioned, Kalyan Banerjee was raising slogans right across Mr. Amit Shah and Rajnath Singh, Prime Minister, seated on the first day when the replies to the vote of thanks, the President's address was being allowed by the Speaker. We didn't really see this sort of protests earlier. Does it mean that the government has to also perhaps walk half the mile? There has to be some olive branch extended to the opposition to figure out how they can go about the business of the day, certain subjects that can be allowed for discussions?
Well, I think, what is happening is that when LOP Rahul Gandhi stood up to speak and he started quoting that magazine where the unpublished memoir of former Army Chief General M.M. Narwane was there, this led to a lot of back and forth between Home Minister Amit Shah, Rahul Gandhi, Defence Minister and Rahul Gandhi. And ever since it has been a downhill path as far as the relationship between the government and the opposition party is there. The government is saying that they are willing to discuss any issue which the Congress party deems fit, which the opposition deems fit. But they're saying that one cannot contravene the ruling which has been given by the chair, by the Lok Sabha Speaker. And Rahul Gandhi kept on doing that. So the government is saying that, there is a way to register your protest, but you cannot keep on disobeying Lok Sabha Speaker. You cannot keep on doing something which is absolute contrary to what the chair has ruled. And this is, they say, what Rahul Gandhi has been doing. The Congress party, on the other hand, is saying that, that Lok Sabha Speaker, the Lok Sabha, leader of the Lok Sabha, is saying that that he has every right to raise issue which is of national importance, which relates to the strategic autonomy of the country, and he has every right to raise this. And I think there has been no meeting of mind as of now between the government and the opposition party, and that is the reason why today also, every second, like when the House convenes, within 5 minutes, the House has to be adjourned due to the ruckus and the vociferous protest by the opposition MPs.
Absolutely. Brijesh, kindly stay with us. I'm also joined by Mr. K.V. Prasad, who's a senior journalist right now. Mr. Prasad, thank you for taking your time and joining me here at News9. We are playing out these visuals on our screens right now. My colleague Brijesh Pandey was also maintaining that these are unprecedented scenes that we are looking at in Lok Sabha. Protests, counter-protests have always been a norm in the parliamentary democracy. But as far as women MPs being used to block the Prime Minister, the Speaker maintaining that there was an unsaid, unspoken ploy to try and target and attack the Prime Minister is the reason why the Prime Minister was asked and requested not to make a statement today. How do you look at these developments? Has it gone too far?
Well, I think it's very unfortunate that the Speaker announced the fact that he had requested the Minister not to come to the House. And I think the Speaker also did mention that it's unfortunate that the Leader of the House could not come to the House to make his statement. This is indeed very unfortunate for parliamentary democracy. But the other aspect, what you have mentioned about women MPs, that again is a serious issue. But I remember in one particular instance, this was not intentional in that sense of a term, but two women members of parliament came up and stood in front of the law minister on the women's reservation bill when it was being introduced in a particular house, because there was previous instances when the bill was snatched by the opposition and all kinds of ruckus was created. So there was this other instance where this was purely voluntary effort by these two members of parliament who came to the house and stood right in front of the bench to prevent that kind of a physical situation. But this is not comparable in any way, but I'm just mentioning as a matter of, when you ask for recollections in the last 30 years that I have reported, this is the only other instance I can call on this issue, please.
But Mr. K.V. Prasad, we are looking at an absolute deadlock between the opposition and the government for that matter. The opposition has been harping on the fact that Rahul Gandhi, leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, has not been allowed to make a statement because he was being countered by the defense minister when he was trying to quote from that particular article from a magazine when it comes to the memoir of former General Naravane. But now Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party says that he is armed with that particular book and thus he should be allowed to place on record the statement that he wants to make on the vote of thanks to the President's address on budget session. How do you look at this? Should the leader of the opposition be allowed to make a statement on this?
The question of whether he be allowed or not is the issue between the House and the Speaker. And also, already there was a ruling in particular about he was trying to quote a book which is unpublished, which was what the government had said on the floor of the House. Now, if it was been unpublished, if this is a published version, where was it published, and all that are secondary issues. On the other issue of the thing that Mr. Gandhi had said, he was authenticating the magazine article and he should be allowed to speak. That again is a discretion of the Speaker. Just by a member placing an authenticated document is not an automatically. Unless the Speaker permits, nothing goes on the floor of the House because on that is the specific rules. But this kind of a standoff is really unprecedented. And in the past too, when there have been standoffs, the parliamentary managers on either side sit down and try and see what is the way out.
Right.
But here is the
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mr. K.V. Prasad. I'm also joined by Congress's Udit Raj. Mr. Udit Raj, good afternoon. Please tell me what exactly is going to happen now, because the Speaker maintains that the opposition party leaders led by the Congress was planning to attack the Prime Minister. There was a ploy to attack the Prime Minister, and that is the reason why the Speaker urged the Prime Minister not to make a statement in the Lok Sabha. Mr. Udit Raj, why does the Congress party have to resort to something like this by putting across their women MPs to try and ghirao the Prime Minister's bench?
So far, such kind of lies used to be spoken by PM Modi. Now even Mr. Birla has joined him. And it's disgusting to know, because it's just trying to sweep the real issue under the carpet. He doesn't want to face Rahul Gandhi ji and reply that.
Just hold that thought. There's a reaction coming in from Ms. Priyanka Gandhi. Let's take a look. I'm also joined by Congress MP Mr. Imran Masood here with me. Mr. Imran Masood, good afternoon. What exactly is the Congress's plan ahead? The Speaker says that the Congress party is using women MPs to attack the Prime Minister. That is the reason why Prime Minister is not being allowed to make a statement in the Lok Sabha. क्या plan है आपका?
नहीं, मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट हैं या गुंडे हैं? क्या बात कह रहे हैं? मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट हैं सब लोग, अंदर पार्लियामेंट के मेंबर हैं, और मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट जो महिलाएं हैं वो भी तो बहन और बेटियां ही हैं, हमारी बहन और बेटियां ही तो हैं। और प्रधानमंत्री जी महिला सशक्तिकरण की बात करते थे और इस तरह के जिन्होंने इल्जाम लगाते हुए शर्म नहीं आ रही इन लोगों को क्या?
कि जो विजुअल्स हम बाहर प्ले कर रहे हैं अभी इमरान मसूद,
इनको शर्म है, इनके पास शर्म है या बची है? कुछ नहीं बची है। ये महिलाओं के लिए इस तरह की बात कर रहे हैं। आप एक तरफ महिला सशक्तिकरण की बात करते हो, दूसरी तरफ आप महिलाओं के प्रोटेस्ट को भी आप इस तरह के नजरिए से देखने काम करेंगे।
आपको क्या लगता है कि क्यों प्राइम मिनिस्टर का स्टेटमेंट लोकसभा में नहीं हो पा रहा है? क्योंकि स्पीकर ये कह रहे हैं कि एक न एक तरह से साजिश की जा रही है, महिला एमपी को सामने रख के प्राइम मिनिस्टर के बेंच को घेराव किया जा रहा है।
नहीं, आप एक बात बताइए, लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन को आप बोलने नहीं देंगे? लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन को आपने नियम बनाया कि आप किताब को नहीं पढ़ पाएंगे, और अगले ही दिन आपकी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मेंबर खड़े होकर के किताब से पढ़ने का काम कर रहे हैं, तो किताबें लहरा रहे थे। हमारे लिए नियम दूसरा होगा, हमारे एमपीज को सस्पेंड कर देंगे, उनके लिए नियम दूसरा होगा। लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन को आप सुनोगे नहीं तो आप जवाब क्या दोगे? जब आप जवाब देने के लिए आ रहे हो तो पहले लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन को सुनो, अपोजिशन पार्टीज के नेताओं को सुनो।
बट मिस्टर मसूद, अंडर 349 स्पीकर ने रूलिंग दी है और लीडर ऑफ द ऑपोजिशन होने के नाते उनको भी उसका फॉलो करना पड़ेगा, उनको मानना पड़ेगा ये रूल, ताकि एक प्रेसिडेंट जो है वो सही रखा जाए। जो पहले दिन राहुल गांधी उठ के कह रहे थे कि कैरावैन मैगजीन के अंदर में उनका मेमोयर छपा है, तब कांग्रेस की तरफ से भी इस बात की पुष्टि नहीं की गई थी कि बुक वाकई छपी गई थी या नहीं। जो रूल्स ऑफ द हाउस है उसको आप कैसे तोड़ सकते हैं मिस्टर मसूद?
वो नियम हमारे लिए होगा क्या? नियम भाजपा में लागू नहीं होगा क्या? निशिकांत दुबे साहब उठा करके पूरे पार्लियामेंट में पढ़ रहे थे, तब वो नियम कहाँ चला गया था? या वो नियम सिर्फ राहुल जी के ऊपर लागू होगा और विपक्ष के नेताओं पर लागू होगा?
जब हर बार मिस्टर मसूद आपकी तरफ से ये बोला जाता है, ऑपोजिशन की तरफ से, कि राहुल गांधी को बोलने का मौका नहीं दिया जा रहा है या विपक्ष की आवाज दबाई जा रही है।
सुनिए, माइक बंद कर देते हैं, माइक नहीं ऑन करते। ये गुंडागर्दी कब तक होगी पार्लियामेंट के अंदर? क्या आप हमें बोलने नहीं दोगे, हमारी बात नहीं सुनोगे? अभी
Why don't you ask the government? Why don't you ask the government why the leader of opposition is not allowed to speak? Why don't no? Have you? I would like to know. Have you asked them? Have you asked Amit Shah ji? Have you asked the Prime Minister? Have you asked the government why they are not allowing the LOP to speak? Do they have any basis to stop him from quoting a published source? They do not. So don't continuously every day ask this question to the opposition.
But
the fact is, no.
You all are coming since Monday.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. There is no discussion because the government does not want to discuss anything. That is the fact.
This is also very serious
And
allegation.
and frankly, if the government has given you questions to ask, then it's fine. I'll answer them all. I'll answer them all.
Ma'am, very serious allegation on opposition.
I have already answered it.
Well, that is Priyanka Gandhi, Congress MP over there, saying that questions should also be raised to the government of the day as to why is leader of the opposition not being allowed to make a statement in the Lok Sabha. My colleague Brijesh Pandey continues to be with us. Brijesh, you've heard what Imran Masood was saying, who is also a Congress MP. You've heard what Priyanka Gandhi is also saying. At one hand, they are saying that the government of the day wants to stand for all women empowerment and wants to come up with schemes for women. But when women MPs also have the due right to come to the floor of the House and protest, then why is the government trying to feel victimized?
Well, the government is, what we have gathered from the sources, the government is saying that it is not a question of women empowerment or anything related to that. They said that the kind of ruckus that was there, they seriously felt that any physical harm can happen to the Prime Minister, and that is the reason why the Speaker said that he advised the Prime Minister against his best intention to not to come to the House and deliver the speech. This is what the Bharatiya Janata Party and this is what the government is saying.
Okay, Brijesh, I'll have to intervene over there. Kindly stay with us. I'm also joined by Mr. Ajay Alok over here. Mr. Ajay Alok, good afternoon. We are playing off these visuals on our screens. There are certain reactions that have come from the Congress MPs as well. They feel their voice has been scuttled. Leader of the opposition is not being allowed to speak, and women MPs are well within their right to hold a protest inside the floor of the House. Why is the government trying to turn it in a manner to make it look like that the Prime Minister was being attacked or there was a ploy to attack him?
See, today after Speaker revelations of the truth on the floor of the House, it is ample clear that Congress party is not a political party anymore. It's an organized, sophisticated Gundas gang who targeted the Prime Minister, who targeted the Treasury bench, and they placed their female MPs forward as Shikhandis who were there to attack the Prime Minister or, for that matter, even Nishikant Dubey, anyone. Have you ever seen in the Parliament that after being adjourned, these kind of protests with the banners and posters being openly displayed in the Parliament? This is unprecedented. Congress is no more a political party.
घेराव किया जाए और स्पीकर को बताना पड़े कि आप मत आइए, और स्पीकर के चेंबर में जो हुआ, विपक्ष के लोगों ने और कांग्रेस लोगों ने जो किया, ये क्या करना चाहते हैं? संसद बहस की जगह है, बहस अपनी बात करिए कानून की सीमाओं से, लेकिन ये क्या जबरदस्ती हो रही है? ये है राहुल गांधी की चेहरे वाली कांग्रेस। कृपा करके अब इसे पुरानी कांग्रेस की चर्चा नहीं करें। हम सब बहुत दुखित हैं, जो स्तर पर लिया है इन लोगों ने संसद की गरिमा को, बहुत पीड़ादायक है। तो आज जो स्पीकर ने अपनी पीड़ा जाहिर की है, उससे हम सभी बहुत दुखी हैं।
BJP parliamentarian Ravi Shankar Prasad saying that they are upset and hurt with the manner in which the Congress MPs have carried out themselves. They have been maintaining that they go by what the Speaker said, that there was a ploy to attack the Prime Minister, and the manner in which the Congress MPs, especially women MPs from Lok Sabha, were coming onto the Prime Minister. There could have been threat to his life and he could have been in danger. Let's once again listen in to what Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi has to say.
Yes. Have you? I would like to know, have you asked them? Have you asked Amit Shah ji? Have you asked the Prime Minister? Have you asked the government why they are not allowing the LOP to speak? Do they have any basis to stop him from quoting a published source? They do not. So don't continuously every day ask this question to the opposition.
But
the fact is, no.
You all are coming since Monday.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Ma'am, they are saying
Yes.
that this is not a public discussion.
Yes, there is no discussion because the government does not want to discuss anything. That is the fact.
This is a very serious
And
allegation. by the
frankly,
chair.
if the government has given you questions to ask,
No, this don't
then it's fine. I'll answer them
Ma'am,
all.
also very
I'll
serious.
answer them all.
Ma'am, very serious allegation on opposition
I have
members
already
by the
answered
Speaker.
it.
My colleague Brajesh Pandey continues to be with us. Brajesh, earlier in the day we did see how JP Nadda had made a statement saying that he's urging the Congress party to not be led by a child. And now we've heard what Ravi Shankar Prasad was saying, that this is not the Congress they knew of. This is not the Congress that they had earlier been sitting on either side, on the government or on the opposition side. And this is what they're hurt about. Do you see there is a strategical change in the Congress, the way they're conducting themselves, the way they're trying to peg their protests, the very nature of it? Of course, they're trying to innovate, but is this really cutting ice?
Well, I think, it's a completely different kind of protest which we have witnessed in this part of the budget session. Because, we have seen Congress being aggressive. We have seen Congress being, vociferous and trying to prove their point of view, trying to take on the government. But this time, it has been a lot more than that. It has been very, very, aggressive. It is rushing to the well of the House. And most importantly, there is a big unity as far as opposition parties are concerned. All the Trinamool Congresses and the Samajwadi parties of the world, they are also along with the Congress party. And if you look at the numbers, the sheer numbers, with Congress 100 MPs and, Trinamool Congress, SP and other groups from the India Alliance, if you take them together, they are somewhere in the range of 150. And with this sizable number, if you are entering into the well of the House, holding placards, shouting slogans, it makes the, functioning of the House almost impossible. So yes, it's a changed avatar, I would say. And it's a very aggressive avatar as far as the Congress party is concerned.
Thank you, Brajesh, getting us all those details and putting into perspective the top story of the hour right now, which we're getting you minute by minute details about what exactly is happening in the Lok Sabha. The leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha not being allowed to speak. The opposition party is up in arms, holding aggressive protests inside the Lok Sabha. The Congress MPs like Priyanka Gandhi and Imran Masood, who we spoke to right now exclusively at News9, maintain that it is their right to protest. Women MPs are also well within their right to hold a protest on the floor of the House in the Lok Sabha. Why is the government trying to act victim in this particular case? Why are they trying to play victim? Having said that, of course, there is reactions coming in from the BJP as well. Ravi Shankar Prasad, senior BJP parliamentarian, maintaining that this is not the Congress party, this is not the grain of the Congress party that they have known for decades now. There is a shift, there is a strategical shift in the way the Congress party is conducting themselves, in the way in which the opposition party is also holding protests both inside the parliament and outside the parliament. The very nature of their protests has changed, and that is something that the BJP is hurt about, that in the parliamentary democracy everybody has a right to protest, but it cannot go violating the set rules of the House, it cannot violate the decorum of the House, and it can certainly not be used to try and be a ploy to attack the Prime Minister, where the Prime Minister has not been allowed to make a statement in the Lok Sabha so far on the budget session. The Speaker of the House, Om Birla, urged the Prime Minister to refrain from coming to the House and make a statement, and that request was accepted by the Prime Minister. My colleague Sneha Koshi is joining me right now to get us more details. Sneha Koshi, given the circumstances right now where we are looking at aggressive protests by the opposition party leaders, several MPs, women MPs being used to try and make a human chain and gear out the Prime Minister's bench, the Speaker has urged the Prime Minister to refrain from coming to the House and making a statement. These are unprecedented scenes. Given the circumstances then, Sneha, what is the next step? In these circumstances, does the Speaker order an inquiry committee?
Well, that is something, Samya, that we'll have to see. Ideally, that should be happening. It'll also depend upon the evidence. What is it, the basis on which the Speaker is claiming what he is claiming? 5 o'clock is going to be an important time, Samya, where the Prime Minister is going to be responding to the presidential address in the Rajya Sabha. It was 5 o'clock yesterday that he was supposed to speak in the Lok Sabha. That did not happen, and we are seeing the fallout now. What was being seen as an extremely unusual situation where the Prime Minister was supposed to speak and the House was adjourned without him speaking while he was present is what the Speaker has claimed, has been absolutely unusual. In fact, you had the opposition go on to say that Prime Minister dar gaye. Prime Minister got scared is what Priyanka Gandhi Vadra herself said. And today you have a situation where the Speaker himself has gone on record to say that this was a strategy that was planned by the opposition. The country has witnessed...
I am intervening right now because we've joined by Shehzad Poonawala from the BJP. Shehzad Poonawala, well, thank you for taking your time and joining me over here. How do you look at today's proceedings in the Lok Sabha? There's been clearly a washout, but the Speaker maintaining that the opposition party led by the Congress is using female MPs, women MPs, to try and gear out the Prime Minister's bench, and perhaps there is a ploy to attack him. And that's the reason why the Speaker urged the Prime Minister not to come to the House and make a statement. These are unprecedented scenes. How do you look at this?
It's a black day for parliamentary democracy. What the Speaker has just confirmed is unprecedented and shocking. We know Rahul Gandhi and Congress hates Prime Minister, and they have many times said Modi ki kabar khudegi, lathi dande maro. But Supari against PM inside Parliament, Supari to, in a sense, attack him in Parliament, this will be an attack on the people who have voted for him. And this shows that Rahul Gandhi, much like Indira, has an emergency mindset. It is an assault on the people of India. Never before has the temple of democracy been desecrated in this manner. And anybody who tries to now legitimize it, कि यार महिलाओं को भेजा, महिला protest करने गई थी, etc., this I think would only be trying to cover up for these egregious actions that Rahul Gandhi had planned.
And you know, as far as Imran Masood is concerned, as far as Priyanka Gandhi is concerned, there are two things they are saying. They are saying that women MPs are also well within their right to stage a protest inside the floor of the House. Why is the government trying to act victim? Second thing around, Priyanka Gandhi is saying, the question should also be raised of the government that why is the leader of the opposition not being allowed to make a statement in the House?
No, nobody has prevented anybody from making a statement. In Rajya Sabha, leader of opposition, Khadgeji, spoke in the House. But when you are being told by the Speaker that there are certain rules, 349 to 353, then you continue to defy those rules and you quote from an unsubstantiated magazine. Then when you are not permitted, then you try and call the Speaker as Yar. You throw paper at the Speaker. You insult ministers who are from Sikh community as traitors. And you try to create ruckus in the House. And then you send MPs next to the Prime Minister's chair, planning an assault. I think that is not permitted within the rules. So I think this is not about rules. This is about how the Congress feels that the first family can have greater rights and they can do anything they want and they can take hostage parliament. The first family cannot put itself above Samvidhan Tantra.
Poonawalla, we saw how JP Nadda in the Rajya Sabha had urged the Congress senior leader and the LOP of Rajya Sabha, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, by saying that do not let the Congress party be run by a child. How do you look at that statement? Because he's clearly trying to indicate that the way the Congress is functioning right now, it looks like all is not well.
See, I'm glad that even people in media, when Naddaji has not taken any names, he has said that nobody should be hostage of a abodh balak. Instantly, media has also understood there is only one abodh balak in this country, which is Rahul Gandhi. So I congratulate you on that. But having said that, isn't it true? I mean, look at the manner in which the members of Parliament of Congress are telling many people that we want to speak, we want to raise issues, we want to corner the government. But Rahul Gandhi stuck up on a selective quotation of an unpublished book from an unverified magazine. And because of that, he's not allowing any other MPs and any other parties of India Alliance to speak. What has Ram Gopal Yadav ji has said today? He has said, no, it is wrong not to allow Prime Ministers to speak. Ram Gopal Yadav ji has said. So Ram Gopal Yadav is calling Rahul Gandhi as a bodh balak. Today, all the ally partners, you go and ask them privately, they are saying Rahul Gandhi ने हमारा मतलब एक प्रकार से पूरा पार्लियामेंट सेशन को बर्बाद कर दिया.
Mr. Poonawalla, you know, Ravi Shankar Prasad, senior BJP parliamentarian, also said that he's very hurt today. This is not the grain of the Congress that we have seen over decades. Of course, there are differences. You are a politically polar opposite. There have always been room for protests and counter-protests, and there's always also been room for dialogue. But there has been a shift in the nature and the strategy with which the Congress party is holding protests. How do you look at that?
No, that is true. Congress, from one point of time, from becoming Gandhiwadi, it has now become Arajaktawadi. It has become Galiwadi. It has become Jinnawadi. And therefore, they have left the principles of Mahatma Gandhi. And now they have come on this extremely Naxalite principle that they want to attack Prime Minister within the House also. So this is called the Naxalite or Galiwadi Supari politics that they want to resort to. And it is most unbecoming. It is a sad day for Congress also. But then Congress itself has become a hostage to Rahul Gandhi. So they must redeem themselves from the hands of Rahul Gandhi.